Hello, welcome to SSVF 302, Services in ScanPoint. I am your trainer, HMIS Program Specialist, Cindy Flores. During this training, we will learn how to apply services that are provided to the clients you served, as well as how to apply multiple services to multiple clients using the ScanPoint module. Please note, if you have any questions, feel free to contact us at the HMIS Help Desk via email at hmissupport@cir.org or by phone or text at 602-908-3605. Thank you, and let's get started. Once you log into the system, go to the top right-hand corner of the screen and click on the Enter Data As link. Once you click on that link, the Enter Data As Provider search pops up. This is where your projects or grants are located. So you will choose the Rapid Rehousing Project or Homeless Prevention Project you're going to be entering your client into. For this example, I'm going to be working under the NCHP SSVF Rapid Rehousing Pinal Project. So to choose it, click the plus sign icon to the left of the project name. Once you do, as you can see, the top right-hand corner, the name populates over to the right of the Enter Data As link. Next, you will go to the menu bar located on the left-hand corner of the screen and click on Client Point. The Client Search screen pops up. Here you can look for existing clients or access new client records. So you can look up the client by name, Social Security, or HMIS ID if you have it available. For this example, I'm going to put in the client's HMIS ID because I have it on hand. Once you have the ID in there, you can click Submit. Once your client's record pops up, locate the Service Transactions tab located in the far back-end corner, and it takes you over to the Service Transactions dashboard. This Service Transaction dashboard has different features that aid in collecting data on services provided to clients served. The first button, Add Need, is rarely used. This is because when a project creates a service or a referral for their client, the need for that service is automatically created at the same time. The Add Service button is used when you would like to apply a service that was provided to your client. The Add Multiple Service button is used when you would like to apply multiple services to a single client all at once. The Add Referrals button is used when you would like to apply a referral that was provided to your client. The View Previous Service Transactions button is used when you would like to view a history of services provided to your client. The View Shelter Stays button is used when you would like to see past shelter stays, even if they're with another agency or project, and visibility may or may not affect the shelter stay viewability. To the right, we have the View Service History. This button is used when you would like to view a history of needs, services, shelter stays, and referrals. So we're going to build a scenario and record a service. So I have a client that I will be working with for the duration of stay in my project. They have come to me and expressed their need for a material good. My project has that certain item on hand, so I'm going to provide that to my client. Now I need to log this information on their profile to show I provided them with that service. So I'm going to click the Add Service button because I'm only adding in one service. So up at the top, we have the Add Service. Right underneath is the Household Members section. So if you're working with families, choose which household member you need to record the service on. Please keep in mind, services that affect their entire family, such as rental assistance, should be recorded on everyone in the family. So I'm just going to keep it as the head of household, my primary client, to record the service on. Next, you'll make sure that the service provider is the correct provider And if it is not, cancel this transaction, go to the top right hand corner and enter data as to that project. Right underneath we have creator using, and this should automatically populate to your name. Then we have the start and end date. The start and end date should be the same day. If it is not, you must fill it in yourself. Do not leave it blank. Next, you will see the list of service type. Here we have a pick list. In this case of material goods, I'm going to choose material goods from the pick list. Please keep in mind that this list is called a service code quick list. It is a general list of services provided by your project on a regular basis or by your project requirements. To the left of the quick list, you will see a lookup button. Please note, for all SSVF projects, you do not use the service code lookup button, simply because the service code quick list has been specifically created for all SSVF projects. So once you have selected your service, click Save and Continue, and it will direct you over to another page where it continues to allow you to edit the service. Although it may look like nothing changed, we promise it did. So next you will enter either the type of SSVF service or SSVF financial assistance type. Please note that these questions must be answered per SSVF workflow. So I'm providing my client with material goods. So the service financial assistance type question does not apply. So I'm going to answer the type of SSVF service, and it's going to be case management services. But you have the option of choosing from outreach services, case management services, assistance obtaining VA benefits, assistance obtaining or coordinating other public benefits, direct provision of other public benefits, or other non-TFA supported services approved by VA. I'm going to choose the case management services. So you're going to answer either or, whichever applies, never ever ever both. Then we have the service cost section. Please fill out this section if applicable. Right underneath we have the funding sources. This section you will fill out again if you provide your client with a specific amount of monies. But we're going to work with that scenario in the next one that I will show you. So let's scroll down, and here in the support documentation sub-assessment, you can upload any documentation pertaining to this specific service. Right underneath we have the follow-up section. This is completely optional. If you want to learn more about the follow-up feature, you can take the Case Management 200 class. So then you will locate the need information section and close out the need. So the need status is going to be closed, and the outcome of the need is going to be fully met. Once you have provided your client with this specific service, there is no longer a need for it. So that's why it's set at closed, fully met. Then click Save and Exit once you've completed your service. Save and exit, and you'll be directed over to your client's service history. Now we'll show you how to add multiple services to the client's profile. I'm going to build a scenario. My client has come to me in need of rent payment assistance and utility payment assistance. I've provided my client with these services, and now I need it recorded in their profile. You can click the Add Multiple Services button from this screen, or click the Back to Dashboard button. And on the dashboard, you can click Add Multiple Services. I have a family grouping, so this will affect everyone in the household. And please remember, anytime you're providing your client with rent payment assistance or any type of payment assistance, Please include the family if they are affected by it. So in the multiple services section, please ensure that the provider is the correct one, and your start date and end date should be the same day. If it's not, just please fill it in. On the service list section, on the service type, choose which service you're going to record. So from the pick list, I'm going to choose Rent Payment Assistance for my first service. Then, because I am giving out monies, you have to fill in the SSVF financial assistance type. From this pick list, you can choose Rent Payment Assistance, Utility Fee Payment Assistance, Security Deposit, Utility Deposit, Moving Cost, Transportation Services, Tokens, Vouchers, Vehicle Repair, Maintenance, Child Care, General Housing Stability Assistance, Emergency Supplies or Other, and Emergency Housing Assistance. So I'm going to choose Rent Payment Assistance. And if you answer this question, you have to answer the SSVF financial assistance amount. And I'm going to say for this scenario, it's $500. Please fill in either or, whichever applies, never both. So let's go down to funding sources. Click in the subassessment the Add Funding Source button, and then the Add Funding Source pop-up window appears. From here, you're going to choose which is a funding source, and you're going to choose VA by clicking the green plus sign icon. And as you can see, it added it in the background. So now, to the right-hand side of the screen, in the amount text field box, put in the amount again. So it's $500. Then click Calculate, and it will give you the total here. When you record a financial assistance service, the system requires you to enter in the financial assistance amount twice. Let me explain. In the section above, under the SSVF financial assistance amount, you have to enter in the amount. This data in those fields is what is exported to the VA from the Hmis system. Right here in the bottom where it says funding source, this is where it's asked again. So this information is for the ServicePoint financial assistance reporting to work. This is so your supervisor can reconcile the amount of monies recorded in Hmis to accounting. So once you have all of the required fields filled out, close out the need by determining the need status to be closed and the outcome of the need fully met. So we've recorded in one service. Click Add Another to record your second service. The service type for this second service is going to be Utility Assistance. Have to fill in the SSVF financial assistance type again. Determine what the type is, and for this one it's going to be Utility Fee Payment Assistance. The amount for this scenario, I'm going to say it's $100. Going to put in the funding source again, fill out the funding source by clicking the Add Funding Source button. Choose VA by clicking the green plus sign icon. Put in the amount to the right. Click Calculate, and then close out the need by determining the status to be closed and the outcome fully met. So once you've recorded all the necessary services, click Save and Exit. Then it'll take you back over to the service transactions history. So now please return to your home screen to work through the next example. So for the next example, we're going to record services under the ScanPoint module. Click Exit to get out of the client's profile screen. Now please return to your home screen to work through the next example of creating one service to multiple clients using the ScanPoint module. I'm going to go over to ScanPoint on the menu bar. This module can be used if you happen to give a service to more than one client on the same day. We're going to work through a scenario together. Let's say you provided your client with a transportation voucher, and now you have to record it in Hmis, and you want to use the ScanPoint. This provides service tab automatically defaults. So these questions, we've seen them before. They're located on the client's Service Transactions tab under the Service or Multiple Services button. This is located in multiple areas within the system. So we're going to work through one service to multiple clients. As always, make sure you are in the proper EDA mode. And as you can see up at the top, we still are in the correct EDA. So the service provider is defaulted. Now we're going to pick from the service type pick list, transportation. Transportation expense assistance. Your start date and end date should be the same day. So now let's scroll down to these SSVF specific questions. I'm going to choose the SSVF Financial Assistance Type Pick List. And from this pick list, I'm going to choose Transportation Services Tokens Vouchers. I'm going to say that I provided my two clients with a gas voucher of $50. Now we have to record the amount down here in the Funding Source section. Click the Add Funding Source. Choose the VA by clicking the green plus sign icon. And to the right, we have to put in the amount again of $50. Click Calculate. Now let's scroll down all the way to the bottom. Now there are three methods of using ScanPoint. There is Start Scan, choose clients from client list, and choose clients from unit list. Only 2 out of the 3 methods apply for SSVF projects. We're going to work through the first method, which is Start Scan. The Scan ID cards pop-up automatically pops up for you. Here you can search by the client's name. If you click on the black arrow to the left here, anytime you see this black arrow, it allows you to expand or collapse space as needed. And as you can see, the client search pops up. So I'm going to search for the client that I created, which is Test SSVF. Then I'm going to click Search to search for the client that is in the system. So I'm going to choose a client by clicking the green plus sign icon, and it drops my client down below, and you can see the client in the Client Entered section. So you can keep searching for your clients that you're providing the service to by name, or down here below, Scan Client Barcode, you can put in the client's HMIS ID number. And I'm going to search for another test client, and I'm going to put in the client's ID. Then click Scan Barcode. And it automatically puts in my client down here in the Client Entered section. So once your clients are down here in the Client Entered section, click Exit. If you have all of the desired clients in here, click Exit. And this service is automatically created in the client's profile. If you go back in and look in their history, which we're going to do once we've finished the ScanPoint demonstration, I'll show you what that looks like. But once you click Exit, it automatically does it for you. Now I'm going to demonstrate how to use the second method, choose clients from client list. Before you begin with this option, you must create a client list. Let's scroll up and click on the Manage Client List tab. On this tab, click on create new client list if you don't have one created already. The client list pop-up appears and it is asking to name your client list. So you can name your client list whatever you like. So I'm going to name it SSVF test. Ensure the provider is correct and click Save and Continue. Once you do, a pop-up will appear to allow you to search by name if you click the search button, or the HMIS ID number. So I'm going to demonstrate how to search by HMIS ID number. So I'm going to search for the client that I created earlier, 50865, and I'm going to click Enter on my keyboard. And the client list will automatically show the client that you searched. So now I'm going to search by another HMIS ID number, 48851, enter on your keyboard, or you can search by name. I'm going to search for another test client, and then you can click search here. Add your client by clicking the green plus sign icon. Just this other one. So once you search by clients, you can keep searching here, and once you've finished, click exit, and you can see that it automatically defaulted to the client list here in this section. So once you've searched your client, click Add New Client to List, and click Exit once you're complete. So once you created your list, you can click Exit, as we did, and it will take you back to the Manage Client List page. The next step to this method is to provide one service or multiple services. I'm going to show you how to create one service to using the Manage Client List option. So I'm going to go back to Provide Service. And for this scenario, let's say we provided material goods to the list of clients. So the service type, I'm going to choose material goods. Start date and end date are the same day. Now I'm going to choose the SSVF financial assistance type of, let's say, General Housing Stability Assistance Other. And I provided an amount, so I'm going to say $40. So I'm going to put it in the SSVF financial assistance amount. Go down to Funding Source, Add Funding Source. Choose your funding source by clicking the green plus sign icon. To the right, put it in the amount again. Put in $40, click Calculate. So the second method is choose clients from client list, and we already created our client list, so you would click this button and then choose your client list. When you create a client list, you can edit and manage the client list, so you don't have to create multiple client lists if your clients come and go. So I'm going to add it by clicking the green plus sign icon. And you can add it to certain clients on your client list or all clients by clicking the Check All Client Check All Clients button. So once you have your selected clients you're providing this specific service to, click Enter Service for Clients. And this Services Entered pop-up will appear, giving you a confirmation. Services were successfully entered for 3 clients. Then press OK once you're done. Option 3 can only be utilized by projects that use a ShelterPoint module. SSVF projects do not use the ShelterPoint module. Therefore, this option cannot be used, and it's this Choose Clients from Client List option. So now I'm going to show you the history of the client services that were added through the ScanPoint module and then also the client's profile. So I'm going to scroll up and go back to Client Point. Here you can search by name, social, but I have my client's HMIS ID number on hand, so I'm going to search by that, then click Submit. Once you're on the client's profile, click on the Service Transactions tab and click on the dashboard View Entire Service History. And it gives you a history of services provided, as you can see. If you make a mistake or need something deleted, please contact the HMIS Help Desk for further assistance. To reiterate a few key points, let's look over the summary. SSVF 302 Services and ScanPoint Summary. When wanting to record a service to a client's profile, you would do so on the Service Transactions tab. When adding a service, the start date auto-populates, but make sure the end date is also complete. Do not leave it open or blank. The service type list has been set up for SSVF projects specifically. Please do not deviate from the populated list by using service code lookup. SSVF projects also have additional SSVF specific type questions that must be answered each time a service is recorded. Choose one or the other: case management type services versus financial type service. If you are documenting a financial type service, please be sure to also document the amount of the financial assistance. The needs status of service should always be set to closed, and the outcome of the service should always be set to fully met. When wanting to record a service or services to multiple clients at once, you will use the ScanPoint module. When using the ScanPoint module, there are only two options that can be used by SSVF projects. Option 1, Start Scan. You can search for a client's name, social, or by the client's HMIS ID number. Option 2, Choose Clients from Client List. You must first create a client list through the Manage Client List tab. Then you can apply the service or services to that specific list of clients. Please note the Unit List option cannot be used by SSVF projects. When wanting to review or make corrections on existing services, you will go to your client's profile and locate the Service Transactions tab. From there, you can click on the View Entire Service History button. By following these steps and working through the examples and a scenario, you have completed training on SSVF 302 Services and ScanPoint. As a reminder, if you have any questions, feel free to contact us at the HMIS Help Desk via email at hmissupport@cir.org or by phone or text at 602-908-3605. Thank you, and please refer back to your training confirmation email for further instructions.